What's up? Shout out to Kurt once again from Counterpunch Boxing News. I was watching one of his videos where he was talking about Anthony Joshua's style, and he had me rethinking my position on Anthony Joshua. Is this cautious version of Anthony Joshua better than the more aggressive Anthony Joshua? I think the aggressive version was better because it's kind of like Kurt was saying, if you're being more cautious but you're still getting hit, then I'm thinking you might as well go back to being aggressive because you saw his nose was busted up, and that's happened in his last couple fights, seems like, where his nose is bleeding. And if being cautious is not working for you, you're still getting hit, you might as well be aggressive again. Not careless, but aggressive. And so I'm thinking, is this current version of Anthony Joshua Michael Moore when he moved up to heavyweight in the 90s? Michael Moore used to be trained by the great Emanuel Stewart as a light heavyweight. He moved up to heavyweight. Him and Emanuel parted ways. Then later on, I forget who Michael Moore got with as heavyweight. He wasn't the devastating knockout puncher at heavyweight that he was at light heavyweight. But anyway, he moved up. He got Lou Duva and I think Georgie Benton in his corner. And I remember him on Tuesday Night Fights. And he was trying to box more, and he wasn't, handling people the way he used to. And so he ended up getting rid of Lou Duva, and he said he's thinking too much in the ring. He said, I got to just go back to, fighting how I know how to fight. I can't be thinking, okay, now I got to use my jab over here and move my left foot. He said, I just got to fight. And that's kind of where Anthony Joshua is right now. He's just got to fight. He has to stop thinking so much. And I was saying it during the last fight. I was like, just attack, man. Just attack. Smart attack, not careless attack. And also something that reminds me of Michael Moore with Anthony Joshua. A lot of people talk about his moods. And Michael Moore was always kind of a moody guy at the time when he was fighting. It seemed like sometimes he didn't even really want to fight. I don't get that from Joshua. I think Joshua wants to fight, but Michael Moore was kind of moody. I remember when he fought Frankie Swindell on Tuesday Night Fights, it was stopped because of a headbutt. So Michael Moore grabs the mic and says, man, accept the defeat and quit. He said something like, quit acting like and then he slammed the mic. And I was thinking, you remember when Anthony Joshua grabbed the mic against Alexander Usyk in this last fight. So it seems like Anthony Joshua might be today's Michael Moore with a better attitude, but maybe kind of moody at times, which can happen when you, today's climate of social media where people are constantly looking at you and critiquing you in a way that's not fair or a way that is not you. So I can kind of see the moodiness, but I think he just has to go back to the aggression, man. You've tried the boxing. You showed you're a great boxer when you rematched Andrew Ruiz. Now it's time to go back to the aggressive AJ. I mean, smart, but aggressive, not thinking so much, If you see something ain't working, one thing he did that I never saw him do, maybe because he hadn't fought such a tall guy like Helenius, one thing he did that I liked, he would kind of sometimes get low and then jab up, like trying to get underneath the guard of Helenius. That was something new. And that's what you have to do, though. If one thing's not working, you switch it up. But I've been thinking about Derrick James, too. I'd rather Bomac. I'm going to put it out there. I'd rather AJ have Bomac than Derrick James. I'm not sure Derrick James is connecting well with AJ. And AJ, he's still trying to find himself outside of the ring. And turn to Yeshua, AJ. It will help. It will help in all areas of your life. AJ he's got to find himself outside the ring. He needs to find Yeshua, needs to get his mind right. He needs to focus. He needs to stop questioning himself. Just because you got hurt or knocked down or stopped against Ruiz doesn't mean you were a bad fighter. And something else Kurt said that I agree with. You can't define yourself off of one night or one fight. That was one fight. You lost against Ruiz. You haven't been stopped since. Stop questioning yourself. If you're going to question yourself, look at all the fights you won by knockout. That's what you want to question, if anything. But that's the way I see it. If you don't know what I mean about Michael Moore, I know that's before a lot of you started watching boxing. Go back and watch some of Michael Moore's fights at light heavyweight and then go watch him at heavyweight. Go check out the fight he had against Frankie Swindell if you can find it. It's quite entertaining. Of course, AJ takes a better punch at heavyweight than Michael Moore, I believe. You know, of course, you've seen the George Foreman Michael Moore fight, where Moore said he was actually out on his feet the punch before the knockout. Then you saw what David Tua did to Michael Moore. Michael Moore still, I did a video about him years ago, still one of the all-time greats. He fought at southpaw, very strong jab. Michael Moore had different ways he could throw the jab. He would even do that up jab sometimes that I was just saying Anthony Joshua did against Elenius. But Michael Moore, great jab. He was a lefty. It's just, you know, he didn't take that great of a punch. And being a lefty can leave you off balance sometimes, but that doesn't seem to be a problem for Terrence Crawford. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure to comment, share, subscribe. LSR forever. And be fearless. Yay.